let's get on with some stamping. Today's, oh, I didn't mean to slam that down. There's the card, the Clean and Simple card. And I am using the Positive Thoughts stamp set. And I'm specifically using this fern, which I absolutely love, this flower, and then Friends Like You mean more every year. I kind of like that one. So let me move this over to this side. Your Clean and Simple card uses just a piece of white, and I'm in the U.S. That's the beauty of my classes. You don't have to be in the U.S. to take them. You can be anywhere in the world. So my paper is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that flower and I'm going to stamp it down in the corner, like so. And that color is Fleur de Flamingo. I created a mask using my favorite, I used the Post-it note on this one. I didn't use the, what do you call that stuff? The removable, hey Janice, the removable adhesive labels. I didn't use it on this one. I don't know why. I just didn't. And then with Mossy Meadow, I'm going to stamp that fern, and I'm going to stamp it once here, and then without re-inking, I'm going down and creating another one there. Then I'm going to take and ink it up again, and I'm going to stamp it here, and then not re-inking there. All right, and I'm going to take my mask off, and that's pretty soaked. That's the reason why I like the removable labels. I could reuse this. This one I cannot. There's no reusing it. It's too wet. And then my sentiment, I'm going to open this up so it lays flat. I do better that way. I'm going to stamp that, and I'm going to just come down. I just kind of centered it up in that area. And there's the Clean and Simple card. A quick and easy card, but it looks really great. I mean, it takes you longer to stamp and cut the mask than anything else. But suppose you want to step it up. So I went from there to there, and for this one I used the Nature's Thoughts dies, and I pulled in the flower die, and I don't know what you call this. It's a squiggly line. I don't know. Kristen, they're made by Avery. Give me a minute after this, and I'll pull the envelope out, or the package out, so you can see it. So I use those dies, and all the dimensions will be posted after this, so don't worry about trying to get it. But my card base, this time I'm using soft seafoam, and then I took a piece of Mossy Meadow, and I think this one is like 3 3/4, I think, by 5.5. I don't know, but it'll be posted. And goodness, everything is messed up today. Okay, come on. I'm getting close to the end. I've ordered another one. I hope it comes in soon. If not, I'll be back to the glue. I also have to clean this thing. It's loaded with gunk. I don't know whether to use alcohol or hand sanitizer. I don't know which would be better. Any of you guys got any ideas? Have you ever had to clean yours? Because it's pretty nasty. And then I centered this side to side, so I have a border there. This piece we're going to do some stamping on. So first thing I'm going to do, I didn't do it on this one, but I'm going to do it with this one. I'm going to stamp my sentiment first. All right, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment up in that corner, and hopefully I got it straight. When I have a camera in the way here, it's kind of hard to see. Now I'm going to stamp my fern, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to stamp it and then stamp it again. So I have some interest there, and I'm not worried about that because I'll move my flower around to cover it. It just depends on where it goes. I used those that die. I got a few pieces that didn't come out, and I cut out that, I don't know what you would call it, but I cut it out. And now this has to go on with glue. So I'm going to pull in my little tiny glue thing, and I'm going to put glue in key spots. It's going to take it a few minutes to come down because I had it. And I don't want too much on there because it'll ooze out and I'll have a mess. But you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Same spot. And I found that there's where they cross in the center. There's a pretty good spot that you could take and put the glue in. So I'm going to put my one on the bottom, and this is why I don't like the glue, because I got to pick this up and I'll get it on my fingers, and I'm going to put this across the bottom like so, and then I'm going to put the other one on top of it. All right, and I'm kind of trying to make it as even as I can. And then I'm going to take this, I got glue there, and I'm going to attach this to my card base. I knew it, once I get that string, then I lose it. If it stays on the tip, I sometimes get going too fast. I've got to slow down. All right, now when you put this on, make sure you put it right side up. And it is the same length, but the width is smaller. I may have to cut this down. It's off a little. Let me cut that down. I don't know how I did that. Okay. All right, now I got it. There we go. Not very straight, but it's a handmade card. All right, so there's that. And the only thing I have left to do now is to add my flower. And I'm going to add it with dimensionals. And get the backs off. You guys use your pokey tool to take the backs off. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have that thing. And I'm going to put it over here to hide those stems. And there's the stepped up version. But wait till you see the wow card. Oh my gosh. I was like, unbelievable. Look at that. I just changed it up a bit and came up with that idea, and I like it. I got to come down a little bit. It's up too high. So for this one, from that same same dies, I am using the fern. So I cut out the fern, and then I used this image, which actually gets the dots and cuts out that rectangle, but then I used my trimmer and trimmed out the inside to make a frame. Hey, Lynn, glad you're back. All right, so let's see about this one. And I have an extra flower. I don't know why, but that's okay. All right, I used the same card base, the soft seafoam, because I really I love this combination of coral and Seafoam and Mossy Meadow. So it's a light green, a dark green, and peach, dark orange, I don't know what you would call it. All right, so there's my card. This is going to be layered on here, and then it's going to go on my card base. See, if I remember to slow down and kind of stop a little bit and give it a little bit of flick, it works. And the Mossy Meadow is a little bit wider than the white. All right, so I've got that on. Now this is going to go on my card base. Sometimes it's the angle too. I have a tendency to do this and it needs to be down more. So you just got to play with it and see what works for you. I'll be honest, when it first came out, I tried and couldn't use it, so I just threw it aside and said, forget it. I'm not going to do anything with it for a while. And then I picked it up about a month, maybe a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden it clicked. All right, now I'm putting this on with glue because it's really narrow. All right. And again, I gotta pick it up and try not to get it up. I just put my fingers in it. That's all right. I'll wipe them off. All right, so then I've got my frame down. Now, this one's a little bit angled more. Just when you put it on, make sure you don't go past your card, because then you'll have a problem in your envelope. Okay, these two go on next, and I can use the seal because I'm just sticking them down. I'm gonna go up a little bit. It'll be hidden. All right, and then this one I'm gonna come down, and it does go over the frame. Now I'm gonna do my two, I don't know what to call these. What would you call these, guys? I have no clue. It's like, I have no idea. I squeezed it too hard. I got too much coming out. Any ideas? Loop-de-loops? I don't think there's anything there. There it is. I couldn't see anything. All right. So let me pick this up very carefully and flip it over. And then this goes down across the bottom. And you kind of got to center it. So watch that when you do it. And I just put it right across the frame. And then this one, and I'm going to go underneath of here. I don't want it. All right, and that'll help hold this piece down. And like I said, once I put the flower on, this one was loose, but this one gets a, and I don't see my sentiment. Oh no, I didn't do my sentiment. How did I miss that? I was frantically, I got up here and I saw that I didn't have my pieces cut, so I stamped them real quick and cut them, but I totally missed the sentiment. But that's all right. I've got scrap paper here I can use. And I'm going to put my pin back in here. If you don't put your pin in there, it seals it up. So, you know, I give it a few minutes for the glue to fall back into the bottom, and then I put my pin in. All right, I'm going to put that up there like so. All right, I've got scrap paper here. Let me grab a piece. I've got a bunch of different ones here. I'm looking for one that, oh, poop. All right, I'm going to have to use this one. And the back of it has the flower stamped on it when I was playing the other day. And hi, Marie. Looks like X's and O's. Yeah, it does, Linda. I never thought of that. All right, so I'm going to stamp this here. And then what I'll take and do is I'll pull in my little trimmer and cut it down. If I can find my little trimmer. Oh, there it is. It's hiding from me. All right. Let me see if I can get this cut. All right. I'm going to put this in here and just cut it down. All right. And I want it right about there. I'm kind of using this edge as a guide to where to put the letters so that it comes out fairly even all the way around. Oh, Ruth, that's a good idea for sympathy cards. It is a pretty set. I hadn't played with it in a while, so I decided, see, I only got a little bit. All right, now I'm going to add some dimensionals on the back, and then I'm going to make that multi-loop bow. And wait till you see how easy it is. A lot easier than you think. Oh, the back came off with that one. All right. Okay, here we go. Boy, man. Those things sometimes... All right, now when I put this on, I got to make sure I put it on straight. Ooh. Don't want that stuck underneath of it and then I can't get it out. And I'm just going to kind of pull it down some so you see the top of that frame. And I'm lining up the white side. That kind of gives me, make sure it's on there straight. Oh, Sharon, have you been practicing your bows? I know you said you were. All right, so this is the linen thread, and I'm going to leave a tail, and I'm going to use 2 fingers. I'm going to wrap it around once, twice. I'm going to pull in my 3rd finger once, twice, pull in my 4th finger once, twice, and then I'm going to take, and I'm going to cut it and leave a tail. I'm going to pull out some more twine. And I'm going to take my pieces, and they're 2 loops together, and I'm just making like a figure 8 and just watching the spacing on it. I'll show you in a minute. Let me get this last one on there even. So I've kind of made them, I've kind of crossed them so they make a figure 8. This goes down on here, and if you have somebody in the house, you can get them to tie the bow, or you can use your finger like I did, and I see that this side is longer than this side, so I'm just going to pull it over a little. And you don't want to pull this tight and do your 2nd knot until you've made sure that it's even. So then you got your bow. I pull my tails down, and every once in a while there's one, like this one, that's kind of in the middle. And I'll thread it through and pull it to the back. Oh, I need my glue dots. They're at my other table. Okay. I've cleaned up my room. I had my first in-person class on Thursday, so I had to clean up my room. And then this is just going to go on here like so. And then what I take and do is I look at the pieces, and I make my inside ones shorter than my outside pieces, just to give it some interest. And then I take my bow, and I take the 2 that are the 2 short ones, pull them north to south. Actually, it's east to west, this way. Then I take the next size, east to west, the last 2 east to west. Then I flip it around and do the same thing. I take my 2 small ones and I pull them. Okay, I've got to get it separated. East to west, my 2 inside ones, east to west, and my 2 big ones, east to west. And then I just kind of pinch it in the middle. And there's the bow. All right, so I went from clean and simple, stepped up to the wow. So what do you think